I almost got set up for something illegal, over a $300 Craigslist job. And the worst part? I knew something was wrong. And I still went anyway. It started at 2:17 in the morning. I remember the time exactly, because I couldn't sleep. Rent was due in 3 days, my bank account was basically empty, and my car had just started making this grinding noise every time I turned. So, yeah, I was stressed. I was scrolling through Craigslist, not expecting much, when I saw it. Cash paid today. $300. Easy work. No experience needed. That right there should have been enough to close the tab. But when you're desperate, your brain doesn't think clearly. It just sees the number. 300. Same day. So I clicked it. The post was weird. No company name, no job description, just a number, and one line. Serious inquiries only. I stared at it for a second, thinking, this feels off. But then another thought hit me right after. You don't really have a choice right now. So I texted the number. He replied almost instantly. No introduction, no name. Just, you available in the morning? That was the first red flag. But I ignored it. I said, yeah. He replied, 5 a.m. Don't be late. Bring gloves. Bring gloves? For what? That line stuck in my head. I almost asked. But I didn't. Because I didn't want to lose the job. If you've ever ignored a bad feeling because you needed money, yeah, that feeling matters more than the money. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept hearing, bring gloves. By 4:30, I gave up, got dressed, grabbed some old gloves, and got in my car. The streets were empty. Not quiet. Empty. Like the whole city just paused. And the entire drive, I had this pressure in my chest, like something was telling me to turn around. I didn't listen. The location was a dead retail parking lot on the edge of town. Half the lights were out. The place looked abandoned, and sitting in the middle of it was a white van. I actually laughed. Like, of course it's a white van. At that point, I should have left. But I didn't. I parked. The van's headlights turned on the second I stopped. Not a second later. That's when my stomach dropped, like he had been watching me the whole time. The driver's door opened, and this guy stepped out. He looked normal. That's what made it worse. Jeans, hoodie, baseball cap. But his face, completely blank. No smile, no expression, just staring. He walked up and said, "You the one who texted?" I nodded. He looked at my gloves, then back at me, and said, "Good. You actually listened. That line felt like a test." Then he said, "Follow me." No explanation, no details, just that. Right there. I could have left, but I didn't, because in my head, I was already spending that money. So I followed him. We drove for about 20 minutes, and with every mile, things got worse. Streetlights disappeared. Houses got farther apart. Then, eventually, nothing. Just trees. Darkness. And that van. My phone lost signal halfway through. That's when it hit me. If something happens out here, no one's coming. We pulled up to an old warehouse. No lights. No cars. Just sitting there. The guy got out and walked to the door, like he already knew I'd follow. I sat in my car for a few seconds, heart pounding, thinking, if you go in there, something's going to happen. But I still got out. The second I stepped inside, the smell hit me. Dust, and something chemical. The lights flickered, and everywhere I looked, boxes, stacks and stacks of boxes. I finally asked, "So, what are we doing?" He handed me a box cutter and pointed, "Open them. Check inside, reseal." That was it. At first, it seemed normal. Electronics, clothes, nothing crazy. I actually started to relax. Then I opened the fourth box, and everything slowed down. Inside were packages, not inventory, individual packages. Each one with a name, an address, shipping labels, some of them already marked as delivered. My stomach dropped. Different names, different cities. And that's when it hit me. These weren't products, these were stolen. I looked up. He was already staring at me, like he had been waiting for me to figure it out. That's when I realized I wasn't there to help. I was there to be involved. I said, "Hey, I don't think this is for me." And then he smiled, for the first time. Slow, cold, and he said, "You already here?" That sentence didn't feel like a suggestion. I knew I had to leave, but I couldn't panic. So I said, "Let me grab something from my car." He stared at me. Long pause, then nodded. "Don't take long." I walked out. Slow, calm. The second I got outside, I ran. I jumped in my car, locked the doors, and took off. I didn't look back at first. I just drove. Then I checked my mirror. The van was behind me. Not speeding, not rushing, just following. Every turn I took, he took. Every time I sped up, he stayed there. At one point, I turned too fast. My tires screeched. I almost lost control, and he was still there. That was the worst part. Finally, I saw a gas station. Lights. People. I pulled in fast, almost hit the curb. And the second I did, the van kept going. Didn't slow down, didn't turn, just disappeared. I sat there, shaking, trying to breathe. I never got the $300. But I keep thinking about one thing. What if I stayed? Just 10 more minutes. Yeah, I don't want to know. So if something ever feels off, listen to it. Because sometimes, it's not an opportunity. It's a setup. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And if you want more real stories like this, make sure you follow. Stay safe out there. Seriously.